3, 2, 1. Love Talk Radio.
And Blog Talk Radio it is. This is the K Factor, where K equals kindness, and the factors are all the things that lead to it. And guess what today is? It's Tuesdays with Tessa, Tessa Greenspan. Good morning, Tessa.
Good morning.
How are you? We got a little upbeat diggity-do going on
It's
here.
wonderful. And it's a good day to have a good day.
It really is. And on that note, we fade it out and we get down to conversation. I am your host, Dr. Deb Carlin, here with my wonderful friend, Tessa Greenspan. And you know, I love that I called it, and I love that she allowed me to. Tuesday Talks with Tessa. Tuesdays with Tessa, as in Greenspan. You know, we have decided that Thanksgiving, November, is an entire month about being in gratitude. And today we're saying awaken your inner being, your mind, your spirit, and really live fully. November is a month to be in awareness and action and being thankful in a whole new way. And today we want to talk about the loveliness of life. Yes, even amidst the agonies of 2020. That's our show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, elderly and young. And we want to lift spirits and give you insight and not just chatter, but actionable items. And you know, don't ever underestimate how actionable your thoughts are, because they drive your emotions. And when we don't have it all pulled together, it's called trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P.
Well, I think that it's really important to practice and get into practice of being grateful and thankful, especially this month. I would encourage everyone not to stop it, though, to make it a part of your life forever. Because the more you are grateful, the more you will have to be grateful for. Yeah. It is a proven fact. It's not something I say or you say, but to be grateful is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself and for others. Absolutely. So being grateful, you know, the first thing I do every single morning is say, thank you. Thank you. I am so grateful for my life, for my bed, for so many things. So the more, again, the more you look for things to be grateful for, the more you will find that you have to be grateful for, and the more will come to you to be grateful for.
You know, it's really interesting because I think there's always ways in which we can be repetitive and think, oh, I've heard this all before. But really, the new awakening is actualize it. This is not just verbiage that sits on the page. These are not just words that come out of our mouths and get recorded and we get captured on camera here. This is actually a way of living. You know, over the last several days in particular, I've been so distracted, and I've been admittedly depressed and bummed out, and I could feel it just sort of coming in on me, because I'd have a thought which would elevate to a concern, which would elevate to worry, and then I'm feeling anxious, and then I'm starting to feel sad, and then I'm thinking life is hopeless, I'm depressed, and then I thought, snap my fingers, and then I did that tapping exercise, the switch, you know, where I'm taking my fist and I'm pounding it into, not pounding, but tapping it onto the palm of the opposite hand. And that is linking both hemispheres of my brain, and it's hitting every nerve ending in my hands, is running throughout my entire body, and I'm awakening and firing new neurons. And seriously, as soon as I started to actually realize that and recognize that, I mean, I put myself through, I don't know, maybe about 90 minutes of agony as I was thinking and thinking and thinking. And then I thought, you need some mind grease in here. You need to do an actual physical act. And you know, you can get so captured and down in the midst of your thinking that you can't motivate yourself to get up and take a walk or to jump around or dance, but you can start on your hands, and you get started on your hands, and all of a sudden you got the music on in your house and you're doing a little cha-cha-cha, and it's fun. I mean, remember 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. And I'm moving around my den and my living room, and I'm thinking, ah, release me from the tension. And we do things like that. I mean, you get up every single day, and now you've got me doing it every single day, and I'm
Good.
loving it. And this morning, even before I got out of bed, I went to Facebook and I went to Joy Martina's Joy Tribe, and it's on Facebook. And I think I've invited you into that group. If not, I'm going to do it immediately. And she and Roy are having a replay on an event that they did, and their songs were beautiful. And I laid in bed and I thought, well, now God bless the whole world and me. Isn't this nice?
Yes. Yes. And it is being aware. Once you find that you are getting into this
Yeah.
negative or worry or concern, if you switch it immediately, and I teach this, that have the best event that you've ever had in your whole life, what you're thankful and grateful for, the sights, the sounds, immediately when you see that you're going down the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
immediately switch to this. And it really does work. And you know,
What when you say you're pointing to your temple?
so
Switch to,
have the best, most wonderful experience that you've ever had in your entire life.
okay.
Have it at the top of your mind.
Okay.
So you can get to it really quickly. So once you see that you're going down the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
immediately switch to this wonderful experience with the sights, the sounds.
There you go.
When you do it enough, Dr. Joe Dispenza says what fires together, wires together. When you do something enough,
Yeah.
it becomes then a permanent. And so, I mean, there will always be things though, that all of us, there is no one alive that has not had many challenges in life. Some have had so much more than others. The thing of it is though, is finding ways. And by the way, I'm in the process of taking the different articles that I have and making it into a book and a workbook, because this is something that I can do, that I can help people.
Oh yeah.
With workbook, these are processes. There are many processes that you can do. And that's really what life is.
Oh yeah.
You can think about all of the things that are going on, or all what you're not happy about, or whatever. The thing of it is find methods that you can do to change your mind. And you can do it because thoughts are things, and you can choose those thoughts. It's a matter of many people don't know that they can choose their thoughts, that they can switch those thoughts.
Absolutely. I know, you know what, that has always been amazing to me. When you talk to somebody who's in trouble and you're trying to help them see, and they say, well, this is just me. Well, I know it's you. I'm looking at you, but I see a different version of you. Why don't you try my version of you on? just for kicks. It's like trying on a different sweater and see how it feels, because you know what? My sweater might actually be more comfortable than the one that you're wearing.
But not only that, it really is important to make an effort to choose. There are many people who want to be in that negative, and there is nothing you can say that will do it. And we are not here to fix other people. What we are here is to inspire, encourage, and to motivate. The thing of it is, there are people who want to be in that. And actually, I irritate some people because I'm positive. It's not something that came along because they want to be in their own negative way. So it really is knowing also of who you can help and who you can't, because there are some people who want to be in that, and that's the only way. If a person really wants though to change, it's practice. It is not something that's instant. it's practice and practice until it's becoming a way of life.
Let me back you up for just a second. I actually do believe that everybody is salvageable. However, it depends on the voice that they hear, the readiness factor, and
The
when it
readiness.
is that we arrive. Like, I think, Tessa, I think both you and I, people love it when we walk in the room together, because it's like, okay, positive and positive over here. Now what are we going to do? You probably won't start griping too much, but there's when we meet with people who don't seem like they want the switch, I think that what we're doing is we're laying the groundwork to make it easier for the person who comes in 7 more steps.
I agree. I agree. Because when they are ready to change, they will think about, oh, and I have people who call me that I have not talked to in years,
Yeah.
but all of a sudden, they want to be around someone who is positive and upbeat. And again, I don't want to be a Pollyanna or anybody to think this, because I'm not. I have worked and I work on this every single day of my life. My goal is to be positive. My goal is to be grateful and thankful and to see the good in people and to love and to be loved. So those are my goals. And I feel that it's important to set goals.
Absolutely.
And then work on that. If you want to be more positive, then you set these goals and say, these are the things. And then you do the things that will rewire your brain.
Well, I'll tell you something about Pollyanna. I used to really get my feelings hurt when people would say, oh gosh, Deb Carlin, you and your flowery blah, blah, blah. And you're so Pollyanna. And I've actually been somewhat comedic, or at least I think I am. I've said to people, have you ever met Pollyanna? They're like, what? Because I met Pollyanna. I know her. And I want to tell you, she is the sweetest person. And so easy to be around. And she's healthy, mind, body, and spirit. And they're like, is there really a person called Pollyanna? Yes. What do you think we all say it for? Everybody on the planet knows Pollyanna. So if somebody refers to us, here's, what, Tessa, here's the thing that I think is the underlayment of agony, is that in some part of a person's early life, they learned to not trust as opposed to trust. And so when people like you and I walk in the room, they think, you phony, you're too good to be true.
Well, I see, those things I don't pay any attention to.
Well, you've had people tell you that you're too good to be true, haven't you?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, they'll say, I really appreciate you, or other kinds of things, or whatever. But I don't know that I've ever had anybody saying I'm too good to be true. So maybe people, probably a lot of people have thought it.
Yeah.
And tell me that. But I cannot remember somebody telling me that. But I'm going to back up a little bit.
Okay.
Deb, you are a psychologist and you have worked with people who are down and depressed and all of this kind of thing. And so you have a different experience. So that you are able to be positive and upbeat in spite of all of the downs you've seen is really something. Because it can seep into us really quick, all this negative, all of this, feeling sorry for all of these things. So you really have to doubly work on yourself to not be in that space of the people that you work with. So I want to commend you on that. I don't have that kind of thing. So I can't say it's easier. I can say, though, it's choices that we make.
Yeah.
It's the choice that we want to live, how we want to live, and not let others affect me. Now, I say that I have this bubble around me that I won't let it, it's very hard, that I won't let this negative ugliness penetrate me. For instance, I listen to songs in the morning. So, Welcome Holy Spirit is one, fill me with your power, take complete. So, and So I have different songs that I play every day, also in the morning, because it uplifts me. Or if I find that it's really something is pulling me off what I call my center, then I will play songs, I will do things. And this is another really great message to people, and that is play happy music, music that helps you to get out of your thing. It could be disco music, it could be whatever kind of music, but that is another method of how to get out of the negativity and something that sort of, you can catch yourself of going down the rabbit hole. You can actually catch yourself.
Yeah, you can.
So, and I've practiced all of these things for many, many years. So as I mentioned earlier, it's not something that is immediate. It's writing goals down of how you want to be, then finding other kinds of ways, and then practicing those methods. And you will be amazed at the more you do it, the more you will be the way that you want, positive, upbeat, and happy.
You know, one of the things that we don't frequently talk about here, but that is an absolute truth, is that we do both work with people, and people are invited to reach out to us. And Tessa, I think that your book, from the Outhouse to the
Yes,
Penthouse,
and I would encourage
is
people to,
wonderful.
for Christmas presents, because it is so inspiring. It will help. I mean, if you want something that will help a person, this book will really help a person.
And so one of the things about the ways in which Tessa and I work is you reach out to us. You can reach out to us on Facebook. You can reach out to us if you know us privately, you know, give us a call. If you Google either one of our names, Tessa Greenspan or Dr. Deb Carlin, you're going to find a tremendous amount of ways to access us, and just do it. Because what more incredible, generous gift is there for you than to take really loving care of yourself, so that you've got the capacity to take loving care of everyone around you? Let me tell you a couple of things that we've talked about a little bit on here, but not a whole lot. Tessa and I are both proponents of using all kinds of equipment. You know, we use equipment for our skin, we use equipment for our bodies, for our exercise, we use equipment for our alignment. Two of the things that Tessa and I both use are our heart math, that really help get synchrony between your mind and your heart rhythm, literally using biofeedback, which is very dynamic, and this company's been around for decades. And the other thing that we both use is the Healy, which is functional medicine, it's frequency medicine, it's quantum physics. And it is really, when Tessa and I are talking about music and playing music and starting the show and finishing the show with music just recently, the frequency of music has a direct positive impact upon exactly what's happening with you, because it's hitting every part of your anatomy and physiology.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful, wonderful thing.
Yes, it's absolutely true. And there are many tools. And again, you know, because we want to live at peak potential with peak happiness, we have found many, many tools. And you are too. We are works in progress.
Yeah.
And it really is fun, actually. It really is fun. I absolutely love my life. I am so grateful for so many things, and just the people, and that we have an opportunity to touch people's lives. You know, maybe give them hope where they hadn't had any hope. Maybe inspire them where they hadn't been inspired, or maybe there are some people who are only around really negative people.
Right.
And is it easy to get out of that? No. Is it possible? Yes. So it's again, it's the choices that we make in life. And again, I it's not I'm pushing the book, but I feel strongly that this book, my book, can inspire you to no end. You think that you've been through some crap? Well, wait till you see what my mother went through, and then really what I went through. So, but it's determination and choices. And it's writing your goals down and then finding ways to do it.
What do you think is the best story? And one story that you haven't told our audience here, what is the best story or one of the best stories in your book?
Oh, there are a lot of really good ones.
I mean, you've told us the one about your mom and her leg and, you know, her work and all that, and taking the bus and being a worker and all that. But tell us another story. I mean, go forward, like maybe in your teenage years or when you were first getting married or something along those lines, or starting
I
a
can
family.
tell you one that I wanted to earn extra money, and my husband and I serviced all of these peddlers that had corners and all. And I was looking for ways to earn extra money for my sister's children. My sister was an alcoholic and didn't take care of her children, and my mother who lived with me. And I saw all of these men making all this money, and I said, I can do that.
When you're talking about peddlers, what are you talking about? Because we got peddlers at the intersections holding up a sign saying, you know, I need money.
A peddler is somebody that has fruit and produce and they has a truck.
Okay.
And
All right. Okay. So a farmer peddler. Okay.
Yeah. A
Okay.
farmer. Yes.
Produce peddlers.
A produce peddler. Yes.
Okay.
So I said, I can do that. So I bought a big bread truck. And there was a little problem. I did not know how to drive a stick shift.
That's great. So you get this truck. How did you think you were going to get it home?
Well, my husband drove it, but so then I learned how to drive that truck. I rented an empty gravel lot at 111 and 162 in Pontoon Beach, Illinois.
Oh, no.
I picked their produce every day. I displayed it on milk crates and plywood, and I was in business. And I made a lot of money, a lot more than you could have ever made working. So
that's great.
Determination. This is really a good story of determination. It's not, you're not letting something stop you. It's finding a way and then going for it. I mean, you can find a way, but unless you act and go for it, then it's point.
Yeah, that's great. I love that story. So where did you get your produce from?
Well, my husband was a produce buyer, and we had a store so that we serviced a lot of peddlers who had produce on the corners.
I see. You know what? That is, I wish that I would have seen you out there.
Let me tell you, this was many years ago, and here is this blonde, really attractive blonde with a straw hat and cut off jeans. I looked really good. I cannot tell you the amount, this was in the 70s, late 70s, the amount of people that would do a double take because you didn't see blondes driving a big, big.
Right, exactly. And so, you know, right, exactly. You either saw old country folk, you know, or you saw, you know, young kids out there doing that. That's fabulous. I love that story.
Yeah, it's really a great story. And I did it for 5 years and I made a lot of money. So again, it's determination.
Yeah.
It's finding a way and then going for it, not letting anything stop you. I had a big A-frame sign that I made that I sprayed black, and then I made the sign with white shoe polish. I would respray it every day, and then I would write the special of the day with white shoe polish.
Really? Seriously?
Creativity is
what gosh, that is a great story.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, so you didn't have your kids then?
Yes, I did. My mother watched my children. My mother lived with me, and she watched my children. Yes, while I worked.
So you were out there solo?
Yes, by myself.
Handling the money and the produce?
Yes.
Never had a problem?
No.
God bless. What a beautiful world.
Well, it was. It really was. And I built it up so that every year, you know, I worked like 9 months a year, and people thought I grew the produce.
That's great.
I mean, I didn't really tell them I didn't, but they thought I grew it.
But it's a more romantic story if they think that you were the farmer.
Yes.
Or the farmer's wife.
Yes. I looked the part too, which was really really good with a straw hat thing. And get that in your mind.
I
had
do.
a hat in the back of me. I had this really long blonde hair. I was 40 years younger or 30 maybe. So, but it was fun too. And again, I would encourage any person, don't do anything that isn't fun, or make it fun, or find the thing that it is, because life is serious. You know, I could have been drudgery. I've got to do this. I didn't have to do it, but it's what I chose to do. But I had so much fun. I have to tell really another cute story.
Okay.
I sold tomatoes to this man who owned a dog and suds. He came every few days and got boxes of tomatoes. So my cousin got married in Belleville, and she had this really great wedding at a country club. I had this really long, sort of similar color dress, looked really good, totally different than what I looked like at the same. And I saw the man who owned Dog and Sons, and I said, "Hi, how are you?" He said, "You know, you could, I know you, but I don't know who you is."
Tomato girl.
I said, "I sold you your tomatoes all year."
Oh man, that is fabulous.
Yeah.
And you know what? What a great lesson, because sometimes we hang on to our pride and our image, and really our image is multifaceted. I mean, I was a house painter outside and inside. I've been a gardener. I've been a baker and a cook, and you know, and did that when I was like 19, 20 years old. Didn't have a car. Took a taxi with big, huge grocery bags to deliver my to my accounts, everything that I baked while it was still hot.
Oh, wonderful. So there again is, it's what we chose, that we were not going to be in a box of only you do this. It's finding ways and being creative to make money or to do something that's different.
So here's the groovy part. In our last few minutes, that is what Tessa and I are talking about. As we leave you on this upbeat note, this is Tuesdays with Tessa, where we want to awaken your inner being and your mind and your spirit and lift you up so that you hear our adventures, you hear our stories, our entrepreneurial spirit pours over. Allow yourself the love that you deserve. It's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Give thanks for you. And we will be back again next week to remind you and refresh you again. Right, Tessa?
That's right. That's right. And nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible. All right, on that, keep a good thought. This is your friend, Dr. Deb Carlin, and her fabulous co-host and dear friend, Tessa Greenspan, signing out for this week here on Tuesdays with Tessa at Blog Talk Radio on the K Factor, where we bring you all the kindness we can possibly muster up. Peace out.
Thanksgiving is the word.
Yeah.